If I could communicate one thing to you that will change your life today and have exponentially compounding results into the future, it would be the warrior spirit and embodying the mood of the warrior. I know for me, this has changed my life more than anything, and I'm so excited to share and dive in on this concept with you. Welcome back to Wisdom Warriors. I'm Christian. Today I'll be reading a little bit of, my book here and talking about the warrior spirit freely. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notifications for more videos like this. Let's do it. This could be it, the warrior thinks to himself before he acts, and in doing so, dies to all the superficial fears and surface layers of himself, so he can dance beautifully in between life and death with all spontaneity and power. He sees every act as his last, for the warrior's craft has mortal consequences. In Bushido, the ancient samurai code of the warrior, it says the warrior lives by death, meaning he is mindful of his mortality and lets death guide his consciousness to a deep center. The warrior spirit, my friends, ultimately comes from a contemplation and awareness, a mindfulness of death, of mortality. The fact that you could leave this planet in the next moment, the next day, the next year. And because of that awareness, it is up to us to live now and live brilliantly. To any sober mind, the awareness of your own mortality, of the preciousness of life, births a fierce will to live. It births dynamism and determination, the will to reclaim light and fight back against that which oppresses you. Death births the warrior spirit, and the warrior spirit births a rete, or impeccability and excellence. Impeccability is the crowning expression and virtue of all warriors. This is where the heroic ideal is fulfilled. For to be a hero, to be a warrior, is to embody the warrior spirit above all else, to move with heart and impeccability. The warrior spirit is essentially the mood of the warrior, and this mood is of primary importance in all undertakings. It is an attitude of courage and excellence, of initiative and indomitable will, an attitude that you must always be cultivating. Mood and willpower are the first movers in the being, and from them all else flows outward. All life, action, and manifestations, flow outward from mood and will. Get them right, and all else falls into place. Correct your attitude, and watch 1,000 habits in your life transform. Living in the warrior spirit, my friends, two takeaways from this, is to focus on the mood of the warrior, the do or die, all in determination that the warrior moves with. Like if you're unsure and you're making a decision, fret, worry then. But once the decision is made, it's time to be all in, to act boldly, to act with deep resolve and go forth as a flame, and mountains will fall to you. Also, living in the warrior spirit, it's the mood of the warrior, but also impeccability, a deep commitment to excellence in all things. To embody the warrior spirit it is all about how you are, you see. And the warrior is not concerned with who or what or where or why or when he is concerned with how he is. How are you in this very moment, in each of your activities? Are you possessed of the warrior spirit of heart and impeccability, or just halfway in? You see, most live their lives halfway in, like we wait for something to change, or like we don't feel like doing something, so we don't give our absolute best. But the thing is if you were to die after this activity, would you be satisfied? If death came to you and called you to your final dance, would you go with impeccability and spirit right here and now? Are you priming yourself for that event? So, the warrior spirit says, whether you decide to go out, to make love, to enter a sparring match, to climb a route, play a game, or talk with a friend, sit down to work, write, meditate, cry, or sleep, do it as if it was your last thing on earth, as if it was your final showing. How would you like to go out? It's a deep question, my friends. Like every time I know I'm going to a social setting, or I'm going into work that I don't want to do, or, going to the gym, I remind myself of the warrior spirit, that this could be it. Let me give my all And the beautiful thing happens, like we talk so much about deep work, about flow states, about these higher states of consciousness. And all of them are accessed by the deep, full engagement, heart and mind with determination. When we move with the warrior spirit, mountains fall to you, and all of a sudden, flow and genius come to your fingertips. Think about that, the warrior, dancing with the sword in mortal combat. How much excellence, instinct, intuition is just flowing out of him because he's so present with the task before him. It is do or die for him. If we can start to bring that mentality taken from the extremes into the more mundane aspects of our life, so much change, evolution, and flow will be found. Do it as if it was your final showing. How would you like to go out? With playfulness and spirit, or half measures and timidity? To be timid now is to be timid tomorrow, is to be timid next year, is to be timid at death. When shall you start living? Most people wait their entire lives to start living. They don't start living now because they don't perceive, the approach of death. The warrior spirit is not something you slowly develop. It is an attitude you claim all at once. It is a fire you seize from the heavens. By walking in this fire, the character of the warrior is forged, often through the hero's inferno. By claiming this attitude repeatedly, day by day, year by year, the hero cultivates his mind, body, and will in conformity with the warrior spirit, and hence becomes a vehicle of power, a true warrior. In doing so, man drinks from the very marrow of life, and when his final dance does come, he is ready to dance beautifully. Wow. So this is all taken from the book I'm writing. It's going to be released soon, The Psychology of Slaying Dragons. Stay tuned for that. But ultimately, my friends, I just wanted to make this video to really outline what the warrior spirit is and why it is so valuable to the human condition. Now, I want to give a quick example to kind of tie everything together. A few months ago, I was in Hawaii, climbing the Polipuka Trail. Now, this trail has about 1,000-foot drop off the right side, up a volcanic ridge, And over here is this lush and beautiful, but 1,000 feet over here. It's really wind coming over, you're in the elements. And this path is, like 2 shoulder widths wide. It's not super dangerous, but nonetheless, like death is ever looming just over your shoulder. Kind of like the shamans of ancient Mexico, saying death is stalking you. On that trail, you really felt death is stalking you. And what it demands of you is impeccability. It demands of you utter determination to focus, to be here now, to move with excellence. And after an hour of climbing on that trail, of being aware of my hand and foot placements, of my flow up the hill, up the mountain, I got to the top and I was in such a state. It was almost like a state, an echo of our more primitive past, of our more primal ancestors. A state of total engagement with life, of total awareness, of total connection to the body and to, the senses. And that is the flow state of the warrior. That is the flow state that emerges from impeccability and correct mood, compounded over each other again and again. When we can take that idea from that hike and bring it into our day-to-day life, bring it into our project, our work, our workouts, the flow is more readily apparent. Obstacles fall away. You think you come to a hard part on that hike and be like, oh, I'm just gonna drink some water, call a friend, text someone, get distracted. It's like, no, you reset, you focus on what you're doing and you go back in. The warrior's way, my friends, the warrior spirit, such a powerful, powerful energy within man. And probably the thing that has changed my life more than anything. When I come into work, to writing, and I don't want to do it, and I'm procrastinating, and I want to do yada, 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 I remind myself that death is coming, that this is my duty, that how do I want to go out if this is my final showing? And I start cultivating impeccability in my being here and now, and enter into it with more grace, with more presence, with more intent, with more focus. Determination, guts, gusto, courage, initiative, all these aspects of the warrior spirit, the more we can bring them into our day-to-day life, the more we'll grow, the more we'll flourish. Thanks for watching, Wisdom Warriors. Again, hit that like button and share this with someone you think will impact. If you guys want to talk to me one-on-one, I offer free discovery calls, link in the description. I love working with creators, coaches, aspiring artists, and YouTubers. So if you want to talk to me, again, link in the description below. Thanks for being here. Love to see you at the next video. Peace.